folks. Just want to make sure you can hear me clearly. Just go ahead and on the right-hand side of your computer, you'll see a hand at the top. If you click on that hand, let me know that you can hear me clearly. That would be fantastic. Can you hear me clearly? Just a couple more hands. Let's see some more hands going back and forth just to make sure most of you can hear me. All right. Let me see. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Well, thank you very much for attending our briefing. I tell you what, tonight's briefing is very, very, very interesting. There were several events that just happened that are clear indications that things are cracking through in a big way. And before I get started in talking about that, I want to let you know really what the purpose of this event is. Why are we sitting here? Once again, I'm providing you two things. I'm giving you kind of information on trends. You know, what's happening right now in the crypto world. That's number one. And also technology changes. So these are two key elements of why, we're here tonight. And I've got some big ones. I just want to make sure one more time that you can hear me clearly. Just click on your little hands. Just click them on and off if you can hear me clearly. That's definitely helpful if you do that. Okay. So my little indicator is that maybe the sound isn't on loud enough. Just click on one more time if you got little hands. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So the first big news is, I think, gigantic and totally predictable. And in fact, I predicted this about 4 months ago. Okay? Now, Facebook has just lifted their ban on cryptocurrency ads. Now, if if you've been following cryptocurrencies for a while, you know that there was, around the first week of January, second week of January, a number of the social networks, it's not like there's a lot of them, Twitter, Facebook, I'm trying to think if there's anyone else, maybe Instagram. They stopped allowing, Google, they stopped allowing cryptocurrency related advertisements. And that obviously would have some effect on the valuations of cryptocurrency. But I predicted that these companies, Facebook, Google, Twitter, all have, shareholders that they have to make happy. And the way they make shareholders happy is they got to make money. They got to sell advertising. It's going to make money. And there's a whole bunch of money in the cryptocurrency world. So essentially, what you could say occurred with Facebook is they took a bit of a time out to find out what the regulatory, what their regulatory liability was. And what I mean by that is the U.S., there was still a lot of uncertainty as to whether you could do, initial coin offerings, as an example. In fact, worldwide, there still is, that's in some countries, there still is uncertainty about whether companies can do initial coin offerings, or if they're going to do it, how do they do it? Do they have to be registered? Do they have to have, certain securities, licenses? Every country has their own rules for raising funds and raising money. And then, of course, you have all these big investment banks that make a lot of money when they raise funds for companies in public offerings. So that's a huge pile of money that the investment banks like Goldman Sachs make when they raise capital. And certainly as these ICOs were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, some of them were, 60 million, 100 million. I think there was one that was like 300 million. I think to some degree, several things was happening. You had investment banks who were concerned about whether is this whole cryptocurrency thing going to take business away from them and raising capital. Why aren't these cryptocurrency companies raising money through us? I mean, there was a lot of people going, whoa, wait a second. There's a lot of money. There's lots of money. Am I getting my piece? So that was really, in large part what was happening. A lot of people saying, am I getting my piece of the action? Am I missing out? So typically, the first reaction is for everything to stop. Let's stop everything. So let me stop everything so I can find out what piece of the action I'm not getting some, and then how do I get some? So you had investment banks who were like going, wait, stop. Then you had regulatory agencies that were all going, wait, stop. And then you had the the social networks like Facebook and Google all going, wait. Because the crypto world was growing so fast, which is growing and getting bigger and doubling and tripling every month. So kind of the tendency of a lot of these big vested interests is stop so I can find out the money I'm not getting out of this thing. I got to make my money, these vested interests say. So with all that said, Facebook ads are now made available. Now there's a couple strings attached. You have to apply to Facebook to be able to advertise. All right, because Facebook, what they don't want to do is they don't want to have companies just buying ads and then violating the law. I can totally understand that. Makes a lot of sense. And one of in the quick reading that I did on this, I could see that one of the things that Facebook wants to do is they want companies getting involved that are going to educate people. Wow, that's us. That's Digital Frontier Marketing. That's our site, Digital Frontier News. I mean, for us, this is terrific because there has been and by the way, I'm kind of mentioning this to some of the. I know there's quite a few people that will either watching this or listening to this webinar live, or will hear it recorded later. For you folks that are investors in Digital Frontier Marketing, this is huge because one of the initiatives that we have been working on, if you remember, if you're an investor, is we've been working on information products. And in fact, when you sell an information product, the first thing you want to do is a free service of some sort. And then you offer smaller services, and then a little bit larger services, and then really big services. So as an example, here's how a company can apply the new lifting of the Facebook restrictions. I'll use our company as an example. So this new info product line that we're about to do starts with a free quiz. We're actually going to be offering a quiz about finding out how smart you are regarding cryptocurrencies. It's an education quiz. Test your knowledge of the cryptocurrency world, because we have found that the number one needed and wanted from people regarding the cryptocurrency world is knowledge. They don't know. That's why you're sitting here on this webinar. You want to learn and gain knowledge. Well, that's what the vast majority of all these new people getting in the cryptocurrency world are trying to do. They're trying to gain knowledge. So the first thing we're doing is we have this really great quiz that asks simpler then more complex, then more complex, then more complex questions, and we grade it so we can tell you what level you are in terms of education. And then people who have a certain amount of education would then be sent to our free training. And then people with a little bit more education would go to our DEAR report. And then, as you all know, we have a partnership with our artificial intelligence folks, and we developed a product with them. So for us, this whole with about to launch this crypto quiz, now we're going to be able to launch it with Facebook. And here's the really good thing: I'm working with one of the top Facebook marketers in the country. This firm is unbelievable. They have tremendous access to Facebook. Their management teams, their service teams, and we're going to have our ads out there on Facebook, and we'll be virtually the only ones out there initially. So this is huge for Digital Frontier Marketing, because it's going to generate many more people who we can educate regarding cryptocurrencies. We can bring them new educational products. Some of these people want to learn about things like the Celebrium. Celebrium, they want to learn about this digital collectible. They'll want to learn about things like CloudCoin, which is, we can aim and send those guys all off to BitShares to find their coins. I mean, this whole funnel we're building is based on having a front end that's as big as possible. Now, with suddenly Facebook being open again, our front end will be huge. So this is big news, not only for the cryptocurrency world in general, because now, believe me, Google's not going to be far behind. They're not going to let Facebook corner the market on all these cryptocurrency, ad dollars. That ain't going to happen. So Facebook is now in, and it's not going to be, I would be surprised if it takes more than 30 days for Google to jump, a big old belly flop right into the pool here. They're not going to stick a toe in. They're going to jump in and splash. You know what I mean? So this is big news. The next piece of news is this: Hong Kong Securities regulator promises to keep close watch on the crypto sector. Now, for those who don't know, China has restricted the cryptocurrency world in China. They don't allow ICOs, initial coin offerings. They're very tough on this whole crypto world. And that's in large part because they're very cautious about money flows. Okay, they're very cautious about money flows. So they're just, okay, we got to make sure that we don't have a ton of millions and billions of dollars flying out of China. We want to keep the money in China as much as possible. All right, but with that said, because of the internet, even though with China you have all the you have a lot of restrictions on what people can read about, what people can do on the internet in China, it's still you still can't block literally the entire internet from getting into China. It's just impossible. So they know that ultimately they're going to have to get involved in the crypto world. And I'm going to tell you, when China gets back into the game of cryptocurrency, look out. That's all I got to say. Because they have they have trillions of dollars that are really kind of just sitting right now, And once again, when you see this kind of language, Hong Kong Securities Regulator promises to keep a close watch on the crypto sector. What that means is it's almost like a dog whistle. It's like going, hey guys, hey, sometime soon, China's going to open up the crypto world, and they'll open it up through Hong Kong. Hong Kong is kind of like is kind of like, I don't know, you best describe it. Hong Kong is that city or that city state that connects China with the rest of the world. I mean, you do have Shanghai that has a lot of commercial activity, but Hong Kong really is kind of the test tube for China government to test things out, try things out, and if it works okay here, it doesn't screw things up too bad for them, then they, integrate whatever they test in Hong Kong into the rest of their economy. So that is big news. Here's the thing. Now, this is great news. Okay, ready for this? Switzerland creates working group to help blockchain companies open bank accounts in Switzerland. Isn't that sweet? Oh yeah, Switzerland. As you all know, Swiss banks are like, they're the. If the Swiss banks start doing something, once again, it's kind of like you have all these people who are a little, they're a little scared. They're a little scared of change, or they see they're fearful of what is happening. But at the end of the day, greed will take over. And all these regular banks all over the world, are like, they're going, okay, we don't want to, we don't let this crypto world kind of break into our territory. We got to hold them back. It's like, all these banks are holding the barbarians back. All right. Oh my gosh. And it's kind of like a dam breaking, when the first big banks start jumping in, it's going to be like a tidal wave. Boom. All of a sudden, if the Swiss banks are now, they're saying, okay, well, we're going to start a working group to help blockchain companies open bank accounts. So now they're already now starting to open bank accounts in the Swiss banks because they want to get the money in there. They want to get all these, these trillions of dollars. I mean, the crypto world is worth probably a couple $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. And it's only getting bigger. I'm going to have a report next week on how many, I think at the end of June, I'll get the new report on how many wallets are out there. I think last time in the end of the first quarter, 2018, there are 26 million wallets out there. That means there are 26 million accounts out there that are trading, taking in and buying and selling and taking in and releasing cryptocurrencies. And the more wallets you see out there, the more activity is happening in the crypto world. So, if we see that, I'm predicting that the wallet jump may even blow past 30 million wallets by the end of June. That's my prediction. And once again, places like Switzerland, the banks don't want to be out. They don't want to be shortchanged. They don't want to miss the action. So the greed of these companies will take over, and they'll realize, well, this cryptocurrency world, it ain't going away. So we don't want to miss out. So this is yet another indicator. So for you folks that are thinking about getting involved with cryptocurrencies, it's the first time you're like, maybe I should get some. Well, the early bird catches the worm, as they'd say. And we have a lot of people here on this briefing who have caught worms. They're out there getting some worms in their mouth. There's not too many folks that are sitting here on the fence who aren't jumping in to a large extent. So this is another indicator that you folks that have been getting in early are in the right position, because that's where the trend is going. All right, let's look at the next piece of news. Okay, here's the news I've been telling you that's going to happen. Well, it's not coming up. There we go. Guess who started the trading desk now? And it says sort of. So Goldman Sachs' trading desk has now opened up. Okay? All right. But it's so cute how they did it. This is classic. This is classic Goldman Sachs. So what did Goldman Sachs start doing? They started offering trading to a limited number of their customers first. Oh, isn't that nice? So basically what Goldman Sachs is doing with their trading business, their desk, is they're starting to offer limited number of services and limited number of prospects, no doubt to their favorite customers. I started talking about this last week. I don't want to go into it again, but suffice it to say, in other words, Goldman Sachs is now selling what are called derivatives, which are essentially betting on the market. A derivative is essentially like a bet. You know, you're not actually buying the stock, you're betting on whether the stock is going to go up or down. That's kind of an easy description of a derivative because it means it derives from something. A derivative is derived from something else. And a derivative simply means it's like you're betting on a real thing. And you can buy derivatives on gold, or you can buy derivatives. The thing that a lot of people remember is there were things called derivatives that were based on the real estate market. And a whole, tens of trillions of dollars of derivatives were sold that were bets on the real estate market in 2008. And when it collapsed, there's a lot of people who lost money, and there's a lot of people who made money because there were some derivatives that were bets against the real estate market. So now Goldman Sachs has produced products. They call them financial products. I just love that. It's a bet slip. They're providing derivative bets and other services to a limited number of customers. That means they're taking care of all their pals before they open it up full. But before they open it up full. They have brought in their big expert who's going to run the whole desk. You see his name is here. Blah 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 blah. Justin Schmidt. They've just hired Justin Schmidt, who's going to head up the digital assets markets to help clients gain exposure to cryptocurrencies. Okay, I love the innocuous words these cats use. It's fantastic. So the bottom line here is that these are four big pieces of news. Facebook has now lifted the restriction on advertising regarding crypto. That's going to be soon, very quickly followed by Google. You have Hong Kong securities guys who are blowing the dog whistle. Hey, we're watching these things. This is crypto sector. And like I said, that's code for, hey, get ready. Okay, that's what that is. That's code. Then you have the big Swiss banks who are now, they've established a working group to help blockchain companies open bank accounts. So if any of you have had your bank account shut down by like Bank of America because you're involved with any cryptocurrencies, guess what? Yeah, I bet you it is in 6 months before all of a sudden you get a nice little email from Bank of America saying, hey, we did have to shut your bank account down now, but we'd like to open it up again for you. Yeah, I'd show them my middle finger, and that kind of deal. So Switzerland, now they're out there helping blockchain companies open up bank accounts. That's very sweet of them. And of course, Goldman Sachs has now begun their trading desk. So those are four big pieces of news that's going to affect anybody who's involved in the cryptocurrency world. This is now we're going into part 3 of how to make money using cryptocurrencies. And I'm focusing today and tonight on businesses. If you own a business, if you work at a business, if you are thinking of starting a business, it doesn't matter if you're selling products on eBay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about 3 things that you should consider. And it's very interesting. I started talking about different ways that one could use cryptocurrencies. I talked about how you could use CloudCoin. And I had quite a few people reach out to me after last week's webinar to start deals because they were connected with companies where we could actually use things like CloudCoin and use Celebrium and some other things, or digital collectibles, to help those companies grow. And boy, we started some pretty big deals just in the last 5 days. So I want to talk about 3 things you should think about. Now, the first thing, if you have a product or service that is profitable, and I hope you do, you should consider offering to new customers, or any type of customers, but new customers, the ability to make a partial payment in cryptocurrency. Like if you're selling something for $1,000, consider offering the client the ability to put, pay $300 worth of cryptocurrency and $700 in cash. And why do I say that? Because you may have customers that you could start doing business with that, if you allowed them to be able to exercise some of their cryptocurrency holdings, that may be that thing that puts you ahead of anybody you're competing against. Okay, that could put you ahead. And what I would do on that is, here's how I would offer, and this is how we do offer this, by the way, for some of my companies. I would figure out, okay, what is the hard cost of whatever you're doing? If it's a product and you're selling a product, you should figure out, well, what's the hard cost? If it's a $100 product, but it costs you $30 to manufacture, package, and land it, that means you have about 70% profit or net profit. Obviously, there's cost to advertise and there's your overhead, things like that. But you should figure out what amount of profit do you have that is effectively discretionary. Like maybe on $100 something, you can afford to take 30% of that in currency. Like you almost got to think that whatever you take in currency, you can afford to lose completely. But guess what? If you take 30% in currency and then that currency goes up 10x, woo! Wow, that's fantastic for you. So, and particularly if you do this for new customers, okay? If you do this for new customers, brand new customers, people you've never done business with, and this is a way to get a new customer. And particularly if you are trading, if you are selling something that really, really, really works. Of course, if you're selling, you want to make sure your product you're selling is good and it delivers, and service is good. But if you know that you have a high what's called resign rate, that you are going to get customers buying once and then buying again, buying again, buying again, it's smart to offer something like partial payment in crypto, because that could suddenly get, you could suddenly get access to a number of customers that you couldn't normally get. And it's a way to compete against your competitors too. Okay, so there are sites now that can help you take Bitcoin payments as an example. You could set up, for instance, this was one article, is terrific. It talks about how you can accept, currencies. One of their ideas, of course, is to start by getting a Coinbase account, because with Coinbase you can take a number of currencies in payment. Okay, so you could take 50% of the money in crypto and 50% in cash, or 30%. It doesn't matter. Figure out what you can afford to take in crypto and what you need to take in cash to basically remain viable. But it's a little more risky if you have a product or service that you sell once and you'll never see the person again. It's a little more risky there. But if you have a product or a product line or a service line where if you really deliver, they're going to come back. Well, it makes a lot of sense to maybe, go after the type of buyers who want, who would go ahead and do a deal with you if they could pay partially in cryptocurrencies. Okay. Now, let's talk about the second thing that could be very, very helpful you could utilize. It's taking a second to come up here on the screen. It's about to pop up. Okay. Now, let's say you are a company that has a monthly subscription. Like let's say you sell a nutraceutical. Maybe you're selling something that's a supplement that every month the customer buys again. That you set them up on some type of auto ship. I'm sure you heard of the term auto ship or subscription. Offer the customer, allow the customer to pay using crypto entirely on the first month's payment. Say, just pay the first month. Test us for the first month with a crypto. See how you like things. Once again, there's a lot of people out there that are holding cryptocurrencies. Listen, it's almost $2 trillion. So there's this currency that people want to use, to buy things. So what you do is you become a company that accepts crypto. Okay? And this is particularly effective if you are a company that sells something that's on auto ship, which means the customer buys something and then they get it shipped every month. This is particularly, vitamin company. There's all sorts of auto ship companies. But you get what I mean. Or subscription, where somebody signs up for something and they pay you every month. So what you do is you accept that first payment in crypto. Once again, it sets you apart from your competitors. And it could give you access to a customer you may not normally have access to. Maybe they're a bit heavy on crypto right now. They have a little less cash than they really want to have, but they have a little bit more crypto than they want to have. And if you have a product like a subscription-based something, particularly something in the health field, like nutraceuticals, things, that people use every single month, that's healthy, right? That once you sell them the first month, the person's going to stay on it. Like I'm taking this cool, a product called ASEA. Now, I'm not here to sell ASEA, by the way. I'm not a distributor. I consume this product ASEA. It's got this really cool, water I drink. It's an antioxidant. But I swear by this stuff, and I buy it every month. But it's interesting if the distributor would have come to me when I'm sitting on a whole bunch of currency, and I say, do you take cryptocurrency? And they said, yeah, sure, absolutely. In fact, I'll let you start your first month. You can start the product with the first month, just pay with crypto. And once again, with this one, product line, this ASEA product line, I was like, yeah, heck yeah, this is great. And I've been paying ever since, hard cash. And in fact, as I mentioned, our company for our services takes crypto. Because first of all, I believe in it. I know a whole lot about it. Every indicator I see, the trend lines are going up. And I like to be first in. I don't like to, 2 years from now read about how I missed out. I hate that. I don't want to be the guy that's offered, Microsoft shares, back in, 1993, and I didn't do it. I am not that person. I do not want to be the person who has that happen. So, of course, I take payment in crypto for services that, my companies offer. It's a no-brainer. In fact, I'm about to do that again. and apply that with this incredible grill that I'm working on with Kevin Harrington, the Shark Tank guy. I'm going to take crypto. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. No doubt about it. And I'm also going to use crypto as a reward along with selling the grill. I'm going to sell the grill plus provide some cryptocurrency as a reward. Okay. Now, what's the third thing you can do? Okay. Well, it's pretty simple. You advertise. What you need to do, and I don't know how many people here do online advertising, but if you are using Facebook, if you are using Google, if you're using any type of online advertising, which includes, describing who you are, and you accept crypto, put accept crypto. We accept crypto. So if you're doing ads like text ads on Google or ads on Facebook or any other, if you have a line in there somewhere, we accept crypto. Heck, you'll get people coming to you just because you accept crypto that you wouldn't have coming to you if you didn't have those simple words, we accept crypto. And you think I'm kidding, right? I'm not kidding. This is the kind of thing that can make a difference in an online marketing campaign. You increase your click percentage by 10%, 15%, 20%. It can make or break the profitability of any type of campaign. And the fact that your company accepts crypto, that's going to help you get customers that you wouldn't normally get. It's going to set you apart from your competitors. And if you do advertising, text advertising, like on Facebook or on Google, and you just have in there, we accept crypto. It's going to get a whole new level of customers coming to you. And now that Facebook allows this kind of thing, you could really be set apart. Okay, if you're marketing on Amazon, I haven't dug into all the rules there. And once again, in that case, I'd be offering crypto as a reward on top of a great deal. I'd offer, the selling of a product at a good deal and offer additional crypto as a reward, say using CloudCoin or collectibles like Celebrity. I'd offer that as a reward, and that's a big play right now in the crypto world. So that's one thing you should consider. So those are the different ways that you can make more sales, make more money, get new customers you wouldn't have normally gotten, get more people onto auto ship and subscription-based services. These are ways you can do it. So I want you to consider those. Okay, before we do our drawing for 10,000 cloud coins, I want to remind anybody here who was involved, who had bought cloud coins in the past, who as part of their deal, the price was frozen for 90 days. And there's quite a few who bought cloud coins, and part of why you did is because we kept the price frozen at a much lower rate for you. That is ending in the next 2 weeks. So those price freezes, they're done. So if you are listening to this and you've been holding on to your price freeze and you want to take advantage of it, you got to do it in the next couple of weeks because those actually expire. Most of them. I think there's a couple cases where maybe it went longer. I think it's depending on the volume of purchase. I just want to remind you that so, a month and a half from now, you don't email and say, okay, I'm ready to buy, my more cloud coins and I got the price freeze, and I have to tell you, no, that's over. Because what we're doing right now in preparation for CloudCoin going up on BitShares and in preparation for the Freedom Press deal and preparation for Celebrium launch, we're now completing or cleaning out any overhang. That's called overhang. When you have something that's like an option to buy something cheaper, you want to clear all that out. So that's, we want to we're ready to now to see this hockey stick start to roll, and we're basically handling anything like the price freezes. They do wrap up, and we've had this times very specifically, so we gave those price freezes with, I think, a 90-day term. They're ending by the middle of July. So email me at bob@digitalcurrencygrowth.com if you want to make sure you can utilize your price freezes there. Okay, so let's get started. Let's do our famous drawing for 10,000 cloud coins. Bing, bam, do. Let me do it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 80. Okay, whoever came in, the 80th person that came in, you have won 10,000 cloud coins, and you will be notified tomorrow. And watch for our newsletter that comes out over the weekend. You can see who won. But once again, thank you very much for attending tonight's briefing. I appreciate the time you've taken, and I hope you learned a lot. Tell your friends about these briefings. If you want to let them know, all you have to do is to send the link that I send you so you can register for these briefings. Send it to them. Help them out. Thanks a lot.